night in Anaheim, the Tigers and Angels battled it out for more than 5 hours before Chili Davis drove in the winning run in the 16th inning. It was the third straight game the Angels had defeated the Tigers in their last at bat. Today, the Tigers look to take at least one victory away from the Big A. Rookie Kevin Ritz pitches for Detroit against the veteran curveballer Bert Blyleven. It's the Tigers and the Angels next. Tigers Baseball is brought to you by Budweiser, Beechwood Aged for that clean, crisp taste. This Bud's for you. And presented by your Greater Michigan and Metro Detroit Ford dealers, where their commitment to quality makes them #1.
Good afternoon and welcome to the Big A in Anaheim, California. I'm George Kell along with Al Kaline. The Tigers and the Angels wrap it up today. A big, long weekend series. 4 ball games that started here on Thursday night. And I say long, it's been long ball games. 5 hours last night, a 16-inning game. The night before, 4 hours, Al, and the Tigers trying to avoid a sweep here today as they send a rookie out, Kevin Ritz, who will be making his second start. And Sparky says that's just about it, Kevin Ritz.
Yeah, there's not much in the bullpen. Brad Havens can also pitch. Mike Henneman a little bit, but the pitching staff is really in bad shape right now, and we have to get at least 5-6 innings out of Kevin. Kevin's the third rookie the Tigers have pitched this year, and quite frankly, none of them have been too impressive. Kevin has a good arm, but he has to get the ball in good location. He has to pitch more inside, I feel. And he has 11-point earned run average, so he has to be worried a little bit because this Angel Ball Club is scoring some runs.
Yes, and his mound opponent today is going to be the veteran Bert Blyleven, who seems to get better with every year and every appearance. Bert's won 10, lost 2. He was not offered a contract by Minnesota or couldn't get together with him at the end of last year. Signed out here with California. Everybody thought he was on the downside of his career, but 10-2 and probably the best curveball we've seen in our careers.
Absolutely. Doesn't throw quite as hard as he did when he was a rookie with Minnesota. He's back home here in Anaheim. He's only 10 minutes from the ballpark where he's raised and grew up most of his life. So he's happy to be back here. The weather here in California is great for a veteran player. I knew I used to love coming out here. It's cool at night, hot during the day, but he's happy to be back home, and he's pitching great.
Well, we're just about ready to go with game number 4, the final game of this series. Al Kaline's ready, and he has the starting lineups.
Okay, here's a lineup that Sparky Anderson is throwing at him today, the ones that are available. Leading off, Gary Pettis in center field. Batting second, Tracy Jones in left field. The third batter is the DH, Fred Lynn. Batting fourth, Alan Trammell, the shortstop. Batting fifth, and the first baseman, Dave Bergman. The sixth batter, Chet Lemon in right field. Batting seventh, Doug Strange at third base. Batting eighth is the catcher, Mike Heath. The ninth batter, the second baseman today in place of Lou Whitaker, is Mike Brumley. Okay, defensively for the Angels, Davis, White, and Washington. Hal, Anderson, Ray, Joyner, Schroeder behind the plate today, and the outstanding veteran Bert Blyleven is on the mound for the Angels, and you can see what a year he is having. 10-2. He's leading all starting pitchers in earned run average, a 2.24 earned run average. His last 5 starts, as you see, his innings and hits. His last 5 starts, he's 3-0 with 2 complete games and 1 shutout, and that shutout came in his last outing against the Toronto Blue Jays when he beat those guys 1-0, allowed only 5 hits. He walked 1 and struck out 6. 3-0 against the Tigers this year, 1-0 last year. He's 14-16 lifetime against the Detroit Tigers. One of the best curveballs you ever want to see. Doesn't throw quite as hard as he did naturally, but still has great control, has better control now of his straight changeup. Good fastball, great curveball, and a great competitor.
We're going to look at the dimensions of this ballpark. 333 down each line, 370 up the power alleys, 404 in the straightaway center field. It's where Bo Jackson launched one in the All-Star game on the tarp out here. You see the tarp in deep center field. They put that out there to give the hitters a better background. and the estimated Bo's drive went about 456 feet.
A good hitter's ballpark, particularly in the daytime. The ball carries real well here.
Well, we're ready to go. Gary Pettis steps in to lead it off. He'll be followed by Tracy Jones and then Fred Lynn. And the first pitch of the game is outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Gary Pettis batting left-handed against the right-hander, and a fly ball to left. It's going to be an easy play, and Pettis is the first out of the game. Dale Ford is the umpire behind the plate tonight. This afternoon, Larry Barnett is at first base, Greg Kosk is at second, and John Hirschbeck, the umpire, at third base. It's got to be a tired umpiring crew. They were here last night for better than 5 hours.
Everybody's a little tired today, maybe not the starting pitchers, but it was a long game last night. No batting practice by either team.
Tracy Jones batting at 267, and a pitch inside.
Actually favors the home team on games like last night because the Tigers back in their hotel rooms early, where a lot of the players live quite a distance from the ballpark.
This one's high and inside, ball 2. Ball 2, strike line. Just a gorgeous day here in Southern California. And when you say not a cloud in the sky, that's true. There is not a cloud in the sky. Now, the outfielders do not like that too much. Now, the infielders on high pop-ups. And here is a pop-up that'll be out of play. Boy, one great advantage in being in Southern California. You could stay in your hotel room this morning, watch all of the British Open, half of the Dodger game, played back in Pittsburgh, and then get to the ballpark in plenty of time for this ball game. That is, if you get up early enough, and you do if Chuck Wosley calls you at 7:30, as he did me this morning. This one's going to be caught by Claudell Washington. He'll put it away. So Tracy Jones is out. 2 outs in the first inning, and the batter will be Fred Lynn. Did Chuck call you at 7:30? Wake you up?
No, he did not.
Well,
he called me a little later than that.
You feel slighted then.
I do feel slighted.
He didn't call you that, but I turned it on, and there at 8 o'clock, straight up and down, the British Open, and
a playoff by 3 players, and Mark Calcavecchio, the winner, American, winning that, coming from way back.
I think not since 1983, since Tom Watson won it, has it been won by an American golfer. And our congratulations to Mark Calcavecchio. There's a slow bouncer up the middle. They're going to have to hurry, and they do, and get him by a step. Lynn doesn't run like he once did, and Schofield throws him out. We go to the bottom of the first. No score.
Line up for the Angels, leading off in right field is Claudell Washington. Batting second, Johnny Ray at second base. Batting third, Devon White in center field. Batting fourth, first baseman Wally Joyner. Batting fifth, the DH, is Brian Downing. The sixth batter in left field, Chili Davis. Batting seventh, Bill Schroeder, the catcher. Batting eighth, the third baseman, is Jack Howell. The shortstop today, Kent Anderson, batting ninth. Defensively, for the Tigers, Jones, Pettis, and Lemon in the outfield. Strange, Trammell, Bromley, Bergman, Heath behind the plate, and the rookie right-hander Kevin Ritz on the mound. You see only 1 start, got racked around pretty good, making his second appearance of his major league career. He started against Seattle at Tiger Stadium, won 4 innings against the Mariners, allowed 5 runs on 8 hits. He walked 4 and did not strike out anybody. And he was, of course, charged with that loss, 9-3. At Toledo, his record was 7 wins and 8 losses. Earned run average of 3.19. I mentioned third rookie starter to start a game for the Tigers this year. You see his pitching ratio, fastball most of the time, curveball, changeup. Has to get the ball in good location, not overpowering, and he has to mix his pitches up more, I think. 6'4", 195-pound right-hander.
And Sparky would like to see him pitch like Gibson did last night. Give him a good long outing. As Al Kaline pointed out earlier to you, the Tigers are hurting badly in the bullpen. They have only 2 available pitchers. Brad Havens. It's the only one that's really well down there and ready to pitch. This one's outside to Claudell Washington.
Claudell, a full hitter, having a good year for the Angels. 10 home runs. Hits Tiger pitching real well.
And he takes it low. Ball 2, no strikes. Mike Henneman can pitch today, Sparky said. He was hit by a batted ball off the bat of Claudell Washington in the game here on Friday night. A 2-0 pitch. It's a strike. And I tell you, with Dale Ford, you've got to wait. He will give you the slow call.
Seems slower than normal today. He might be tired.
Here's a fly ball into shallow left field that's going to drop in for a hit. So Claudell Washington is on with a pop fly single into left.
Well, he gets hit on the handle here, and as things go bad, they seem to get worse as he loops the ball just in short left field. Tracy Jones had no chance to catch the ball. Base hit for Claudell.
You know, we were talking about Dale Ford. He's a good umpire, and I like him, but he drives announcers crazy with his slow call. You never know whether it's a ball or a strike. But he worked on Friday night behind the plate. I watched it on pass, and I said, oh, thank goodness he's working Friday night. I will not get him on Sunday. But he got hit with a foul ball, had to leave the game, and in the rotation they set up, he's back behind the plate today. So we'll go with Dale Ford, and the pitch is inside.
Well, you've always been a pretty good umpire from up here.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about the umpires.
But what if he disagrees with it?
Then he's probably wrong.
It's going to be what Dale Ford calls it. It's what Red Jones used to say. It's not anything until I call it, and then that's what it is. Ball 2, no strikes.
Well, 2 batters now. He's been behind both batters, and that's a no-no. He can't be behind these major league hitters.
Sparky told us before the game he'll throw well, but he'll be wild. As you might expect from a youngster, making only his second start in the major leagues. Here's the runner at first, Claudell Washington, and he will run. Kevin Ritz knows that, and he gets the sign from the bench. And they constantly remind him, give Mike Heath a chance. Ball 2, no strikes. This one's going to be fouled on the line and left. Well, Joe and Irene Petrelka are celebrating their 47th wedding anniversary. Their son, James Petrelka, is our graphics coordinator here in the booth, in the truck in Anaheim today, and he sends his best along to his parents on their 47th wedding anniversary. Claudell Washington there. He opened the game with a bloop single into left. He's there with nobody out. Ball 2, strike 1 to Johnny Ray. Ball 3, almost over the head of Mike Heath. They had 48,000 plus here last night. Not nearly that many today. But a good crowd on hand. Very good crowd. Ball 3, strike 1. Kevin Ritz, the pitcher, and here's a base hit into center. Claudell makes the turn and hits for third. Here's the throw, and he's going to be out at third base. John Hirschbeck waited a long time, and then he waved him out.
Oh, just a great throw. Going away from his target. Gary Pettis able to throw a strike to third base. He's out.
He is.
He sure is. And Johnny Ray goes to second base. I was thinking in the back of my mind, I was talking the great play that Gary Pettis made last night, and he makes another one here today.
Down to second went Johnny Ray on the throw to third, and the batter is Devon White, and he takes a strike. Boy, this is a vastly improved California ball club over the last couple of years. They finished 29 games behind last year, and starting play today, they lead the American League West by percentage points over Oakland. They're in a virtual tie. And the thunder and lightning that you hear is the Oakland club, since Canseco came back, beginning to roar again.
Yeah, they're going to be tough to beat. Canseco will take a few days to get back into shape, but I think the big improvement is Eckersley now is back pitching, and he should be able to pitch the rest of the year.
Pitch coming up to Devon White. He swung at it. He didn't want to, but he did. Put the tag on him, Mike. He does, and he's out. That's the second out of the inning, and it'll leave it up to Wally Joyner. And they may not leave it up to Joyner the way he's been hitting the Tigers.
Good off-speed pitch, and he's going to have to throw more of these. He doesn't have that good a fastball to get by in the big leagues unless he has great location, which, as we know, he does not have good control. But he's going to have to throw a lot more slow pitches to make his fastball effective.
Now they're going to pitch to Wally Joyner. First base open, runner at second, 2 outs, and a pitch outside. He may be very, very careful in pitching to Joyner, who beat the Tigers here in the 9th inning on Thursday night with a single. He won it on Friday night with a two-run homer, and he's just been awesome. And not just against the Tigers.
You know, his RBI total has been down all year long, home run, but Doug Rader, the manager, moved him into the 4th spot, and he's really responded.
Ball 2, no strikes. Ball 3. May be about as close as he's going to throw to the strike zone. They're going to call for ball 4 outside. Mike Heath says, we're going to walk him. Ball 3, no strikes. They'll put him on and pitch to the right-hander, Brian Downing. The crowd doesn't like it too much. So Wally Joyner gets the walk. They have him at first and second, 2 outs, and the batter will be Brian Downing.
And he's certainly not an easy out. Brian has continued to have good years offensively, and one of the few players I know that the DH has been good for. A lot of players like to be out in the field in the action, but Brian Downing somehow has been able to keep his head in the game and has been become a very good DH.
Kevin Ritz delivers outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Fellow started as a third baseman, then a catcher, then to the outfield, now the designated hitter. He held the record for the California club, most home runs by a catcher, until Lance Parrish broke it last night. 12 was the record for California catchers. Lance hit number 13 against the Tigers last night. This one's in the dirt. Well, as you pointed out earlier, Al, he's been behind nearly every batter. 4 of the first 5, and he's been ball 2, no strikes, and that'll bring Billy Muffet out. Billy knows what he wants to tell him. Everybody in the ballpark would know that he's going to tell him you're going to have to get ahead of the hitters, but
easier said than done.
Yeah, easier said than done. Hasn't been anything fancy. He's been missing with his fastball, and
if he can't get ahead, then he can't use his other pitches, you know, because he's got to get ahead of the hitters to use his other pitches, which the curveball and the straight change.
Well, he might be in big trouble right here. Brian Downing is a good hitter, but he loves to hit when it's 2-0 and 3-1. He can be very selective, get his pitch, and he can drive it. So we'll see what happens on the 2-0 pitch. It's a strike. That'll make it 2-1. You say, why didn't he hammer it? Well, it was about knee-high and not exactly where he wanted it. He was looking for something up a little bit inside that he could hit hard to left field. And he pops it up into center field. Oh, a tremendously high sky, but Gary Pettis will put it away, and the inning is over. At the end of 1, it's 0-0. Well, our first trivia call today is going to East Jordan, Michigan.
Okay, which American League owner recorded the hit record Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? The #1 cowboy of all times, I would imagine.
Should be easy. Will be easy. Alan Trammell will lead it off for the Tigers in the second inning. Dave Bergman will follow, and then Chet Lemon. Tigers went out 1-2-3 against Bert Blyleven in the first. Washington led off with a single for California. They had a back-to-back hits by Ray in Washington, but failed to score. Pettis making another good play, throwing Washington out at third. Alan Trammell batting at .251. He has only 3 home runs on the year. He takes a strike.
Been a very disappointing year for Allen. He's had a lot of physical problems, but has not been able to get on track.
This one's foul back on the screen.
And you see there that last swing, the right-handed pitcher just dropped down a little bit. Allen bailing, stepping towards third base.
You see the earned run average of the California club. It's been very good. I was talking to Tom Gage of the Detroit News before the game. He summed up this year better than anybody I know of. He said, what a cruel, cruel trick this has been to play on any franchise. What's happened to the Tigers this year. This one into center field, and Devon White puts it away, so Trammell is out. One away, and the batter will be Dave Bergman.
First baseman, Dave.
Well, there's no question that the Tiger organization can't put the same bunch of people back on the field again next year that they have here this year. They're going to have to be some changes made.
It does seem like a cruel trick, though. What's happened?
Well, you know what makes it so bad, George? The year before, the Tiger just missed winning.
Yeah.
And baseball people realized, at least all the baseball people I talked to said there was no way the Tigers should have finished that high to begin with, and that's what makes it look so bad. They should have probably finished 4th or 5th last year.
What you're saying, it's probably bad to have finished a game out last year. Expectations were so high, and there's been a lot of reasons.
I think Sparky Anderson probably did his best job ever managing a year ago.
Pitch to Bergman is low. All 3, no strikes. Dave Bergman. Steady David at first base. And he takes a walk. Tigers get their first base runner. Bergman is on, and the batter will be Lemon. And we were talking about the crowd last night. 48,000 plus. I'm telling you, around the major leagues, they're setting all kinds of records. In Boston, yesterday, they had 34,899, and they don't have that many seats in the Boston ballpark.
About 34,889.
Yeah.
About.
Well, that's standing room only, I'm sure. 37,000 in Oakland yesterday afternoon to see Baltimore play. 38,000 in Kansas City to see Cleveland and Kansas City.
Which is not unusual.
In Texas, 41,000. That's great.
That's great to see.
Oh, tremendous. But listen to this. 52,000 in Milwaukee. 52,000 yesterday in Milwaukee to see Milwaukee and Minnesota. A couple of also-rans play.
They have less people to draw from than Tigers.
And this might be the most surprising of them all, and yet it's the smallest crowd in the American League yesterday. In Seattle, 22,000 plus. They don't draw that many in Seattle. But they did. 22,000. They usually have the same 9, 10, 11, 12,000 people in Seattle.
They've got a pretty good ball club, too.
They have a good ball club.
Got some good young players up there, and if they keep their pitchers that they have and add a player here or there, they can be very competitive. Unfortunately, they're in the American League West, where there's a couple good teams over there.
This one's fouled out of play by Chet Lemon. It's 1 ball, 2 strikes. How about the White Sox? They had won 8 straight before today. They got bombed at Fenway Park today. It was going to happen sooner or later. The Red Sox beat them 8-2. Roger Clemens gets the win. He's won 11 now, lost 7. Not a big year for Roger. even though he has 11 wins. Here's a fly ball hit well into left center and on the run and caught. A great play in deep left center field by Chili Davis. At the last moment, Chili Davis just stuck out his glove, and there it was.
Chili not noted for his great defensive ability, but he had to go a long way. What surprised me was Chet Lemon was fooled on the pitch and took sort of like a half swing. Great running play by Davis.
You pointed out balls carry very well in this ballpark, especially in the daytime. And that one carried extremely well. Second out of the inning, and it'll bring up Doug Strange. Here's the breaking ball high. 1 ball, no strike. Doug batting only 190. They've handed him the third base job. It's his to claim if he wants it. He's going to have to hit a little more than this.
Strike 2 on Doug. They call that first pitch a strike.
Yeah, I've got to keep an eye on Dale Ford.
Well, it has to be an experience for Doug to face Blyleven. That great breaking ball that he has.
The 2-strike pitch. He'll make it 1-2.
Sparky Anderson feels that Doug is a better hitter left-handed. Now, I hope he doesn't go along the same lines that he did Howard Johnson, because he said Howard Johnson was a better hitter left-handed than right-handed and only played him against right-handers. And we all know what Howard Johnson went on to do.
Did he check his swing? He did. We got the call from the third base umpire, Hirschbeck. Howard Johnson has been one of the great success stories in baseball. He's gone from a mediocre ball player, really, with the Tigers, a mediocre ball player, to a superstar in New York. He has just carried the Mets this year. With the injuries they've had, he's been the big guy. Doug Strange strikes out. We go to the bottom of the second. Still 0-0. Well, our first trivia call went to Chip Hansen of East Jordan, Michigan. There was no answer at the Hansen home. And Al, you might read that question.
Okay, which American League owner recorded the hit record Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer? Now, he also recorded some other ones, George, and I know they're some of your big favorites.
Absolutely.
Peter Cottontail, Here Comes Santa Claus, and your favorite, I know, Back in the Saddle Again.
I talked to him before the ball game today. He's signing a couple of baseballs for me. He's here at the ballpark. Stayed last night until the last pitch, he said. The last pitch of the game, and that was quite late here in Anaheim. Well, our second call today is going to Taylor.
He is the big favorite of my wife, Louise, and by the way, I have to get this in. Wish a very happy birthday to my better half.
Oh, absolutely.
Louise. I'm a day late. Yesterday was her birthday.
Chili Davis will lead it off. He had the game-winning hit last night, and he's been in a slump. In a terrible hitting slump, but that's the guys that'll beat you. Been an extra inning ball game. He's been a good hitter all of his life, and you can't hold him down forever. And once again, it's Chili Davis, the leadoff man. 1 ball, 1 strike. Only been 2 hits in the game, both by California, the first 2 hitters of the game. This is low ball 2. A final from the National League. The Dodgers a winner. They beat Pittsburgh 4-3. Been a very disappointing year for Jim Leland, his Pirates.
Kirk Gibson went on a disabled list today, I believe.
He throws this one right by Chili. Ball 2, strike 2. Davis will be followed by Bill Schroeder and then Jack Howell. The 2-2 pitch to Davis. Ooh, very close. Ball 3, strike 2.
The Angels made a decision to go out after some free agents. Chili Davis, one of those players that they signed as a free agent. Claudel Washington, another one.
Bert
Blyleven. And fortunate, it's unusual there where free agents have been productive players. Usually when players sign long-term contracts, they seem to get hurt a lot more after they sign long-term contracts.
Ball 3, strike 2, and the pitch to Davis. He bounces it towards shortstop. Here's the quick throw by Trammell, and Chili Davis is out. Well, the California club has been into the free agency market many times before, and not always with great success. They've had some real bombs that they've paid a lot of money to. But these you mentioned have paid off rather well. This is Bill Schroeder, longtime catcher with the Milwaukee Ball Club. He's not going to catch a lot out here, not with the big guy Lance Parrish around. Fly ball into right. Lemon charging in, and Brumley gets out of the way. Easier play, much easier play for Chet Lemon. He takes charge. Second out of the inning, and Jack Howell, the third baseman, steps in.
Dead pull hitter. I think this kid's going to be a good power hitter someday. He still swings at a lot of bad pitches, but someday when he gets a little bit more experience, he will be a good power hitter in my opinion. 12 home runs this year. He's been in a slump lately. Only 1 hit in his last 21 ABs.
Doug Rutt is our cameraman here in the booth with us today. He has been in years past here in the booth. He's from Ann Arbor, and he wants to say hello to his sister Jan back in Ann Arbor. And Jan, Doug says he'll be home in time for the big Rutt family reunion. That'll be next Saturday.
Right.
Hey, how about that? In Ann Arbor. Jack Howell batting with 2 outs and nobody on. And again, ball 2, no strikes.
You ought to get a recording up here. 2-0.
Or start out 2-0.
Yeah.
And a bouncer towards second. Brumley picks it off, and Jack Howell is out. At the end of 2, 0-0. Mike Heath is the leadoff man for the Tigers in the 3rd inning. Heath, Brumley, and Gary Pettis. 1 ball, no strikes. A pitch from Blyleven. That'll make it 1-1. Our second trivia call went to Jeff Sanders of Taylor, Michigan, and he could not answer your question.
Oh, I don't believe it. He must be too young to remember.
He must be.
Mr. Gene.
Well, our third call is going to Detroit. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Missed on the outside. Evens the count at 2-2. Tigers have had only 1 base runner. That was a walk to Bergman. And a ground ball hit slowly to short. Schofield takes his time and took too much time. Safe. He had time to throw him out. That is Kent Anderson, not Schofield, playing shortstop. And he had plenty of time. Now watch him here. He just says, hey, I'll get you. Yep. Let's see what happens.
And give a lot of credit to Mike. You know, he has to be hurting a little bit catching that ball game last night, but he's hustling all the way. Anderson's throw just a little late to get Mike.
So an infield single for Mike Heath. The Tigers get their first base hit. The batter will be Mike Brumley. And right back through the middle, Heath is going to stop at second. Mike stumbled over the bag at second, and he goes back. So Brumley on the first pitch bounces it right through the middle into center field. The Tigers have them at first and second, nobody out.
I think a ball that Blyleven should have fielded, a one-hopper right through the middle. Brumley, of course, replacing Lou Whitaker, who's having some problem with his back.
How about this? From Windsor, all the way from Windsor. Rob Worley. Says, happy birthday, Mom. Now that's the way to get your message over. Big enough, and we couldn't miss it. Just beyond the California dugout, down the third baseline. Here's Pettis, and they're looking for the bunt from this fella. In very close at first and third, and a pitch outside, and he just does get back. That's
a play that happens so many times, and it's a very difficult one for the base runner. When the sacrifice is in order, the ball goes by the hitter, and your reaction at second base is you lean towards third.
Schroeder made a good throw, and you could see Mike Heath diving back in, barely getting back. Pitch to Pettis. Deep bunts and a good one, and they'll have to go to first base with it. Blyleven didn't even think about third base. Ball bounded high in the air, and his one thought was hurry to first base and get Pettis, who runs extremely well. Gary Pettis made a catch here last night that is unbelievable. Now, you take a look and see if you believe this.
This is one of the great catches, I think, of all times. And in fact, you see he reached down and over the fence. The people talking up here in the booth, the camera guys and all, said it was the best catch that they've ever seen. He actually reached over and down on the other side of the fence.
Tracy Jones hits it to third. It is bobbled, and the throw to first. They get Jones, but he was going to throw home and get Heath. Had plenty of time, and Howell bobbled the ball. That allowed Heath to score, and they get Jones at first base.
Well, it looked like just a routine play. He just didn't stay down on the ball long enough. The ball trickled off of his glove. He's able to throw out Tracy Jones, who's having problems with his knee, and I understand he will have some surgery after the season to repair that knee.
So Fred Lynn will bat with a runner at second and 2 outs, and the Tigers leading at 1-0. 2 singles, a sacrifice bunt, and a bounce out. Fred Lynn tapped it to the shortstop his first time up.
Fred's really having some bad swings at the plate. He's just not patient enough. He's swinging at anything the pitchers throw up there. You know, he's having a bad year. You might just as well sit on a couple of pitches and have good cuts until he gets 2 strikes.
What would happen to a hitter like Lynn, who's always been a good hitter, and all of a sudden he's just feeling for the ball?
Well, right now he just lost his confidence. I think he might be worried he might be getting too old to play the game. And he's worrying about being hit on the fist, and he's jumping out at the ball. You have to wait and use your hands. You can't be jumping at the ball.
It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Mets a winner again today. They beat Atlanta 7-2. David Cohn the winner in that game. Sergio Valdez takes the loss. He didn't get out of the first inning. The Mets scored 6 times in the first inning. And the pitch coming up to Fred Lynn. Did he swing at it? He might have. Nope. We don't get a call from anybody. Very close. Ball 2 and strike 2. Tigers trying to rescue Brumley, who's at second base with 2 outs. The pitch coming up from Blyleven. This is foul. The inning started with an infield single by Heath. Kent Anderson, the shortstop, played it slowly. Took a lot of time. Heath beat it out. Then Brumley single. Pettis bunted the runners along, and Jones bounced to third, and Heath scored. And here's a fly ball into shallow center that is going to drop in for a hit. Throw coming to the plate, but not nearly in time. Down to second and out at second base. Fred Lynn is out at second. The run scores. The Tigers lead 2-0 as we go to the bottom of the third. Well, we have a trivia winner, Al. She is Lauren Goodwin of Detroit, and Lauren correctly answered your question. She's won 2 tickets to a Tiger home game, and you might give the answer to today's Valvoline trivia question.
Well, Gene Autry is the answer. His record, Rudolph the Red-Nosed Reindeer, sold over 40 million copies.
Ah, beautiful, beautiful song.
I know you have a few of them, and there's Mr. Autry there. Look at that.
Hey, here he is. Gene Autry stayed till the last out last night. We're going to have another trivia question for you on our next pregame show. That'll be tomorrow night from Milwaukee. Tomorrow night from Milwaukee. Remember that. Boy, is this crisscrossing the country.
Here's the third out. He throws the ball all the way on the fly. Fred Lynn does what he's supposed to do. The one thing he did was he stopped at first base, and then he just couldn't pick up his speed again to go to second base. You have to keep running until you see the ball is going to be cut off. You can always sneak back because the first baseman is the cutoff man.
Tigers lead it 2-0 as the Angels bat here in the third inning. This is a shortstop, Kent Anderson, playing in place of Schofield. And the count's 2-0. Now it's 3-0.
And he's been in a terrible slump. Kent has 2 for 32.
Ball 3, no strikes to the leadoff man. Very important inning for Kevin Ritz. The Tigers get him a couple of runs. And he's got to get the ball over the plate. Ball 3, strike 1. Just a reminder that coming up later will be our Bud Batter's Box home run inning. And if your names have been selected and a Tiger hits a home run, you're going to win $100. There's a walk. Kent Anderson gets a walk to start the third inning for the Angels. You're going to win $100 and a share of a $10,000 bonus at the end of the year. It's going to be a big bonus, it looks like. We're not going to have too many winners.
So far.
Haven't had. Claudell Washington will bat with a runner at first base and nobody out. That's the second walk given up by Ritz.
And it makes it tough because Claudell is a good hitter, and he's got the big hole now to swing for at first base.
Yeah, and he's a smart hitter. He knows exactly where that hole is, and he can drill it through there with the best of them.
But if he keeps making pitches like he just did on the last one, then it will make it a little bit more difficult for Claudell. That was a good pitch, low and away.
1 strike to Washington. Third inning, Tigers 2, California nothing. That'll make it 1-1. This fellow's been around a while, but he's been a good ball player. He started at a very young age with the Oakland Ball Club.
He was a player that did not play high school baseball, Claudell. Another free agent, a 300 hitter for the Yankees in 1988. That was his best average ever.
He hits it on the ground towards second. No, he didn't get him at first. Brumley was going to tag the runner and throw to first. That was the smart play, I guess. But Ken Anderson just held it up long enough. Now watch this. He almost makes the double play.
Yeah, see, you see there, Kent stops, and it gave Claudell enough time to beat the throw.
Very close play, but safe at first base. The batter will be Johnny Ray. Johnny Ray had a base hit his first time up. Mike Brumley is playing second base. Lou Whitaker is out with a bad back. They wanted Lou to pinch hit last night, but he was not able to. He said his back was bothering him, and he's out of the lineup today. So,
wow, if the game on the line, I don't know. I think he can get up there and maybe just punch a ball over the third baseman's head or something.
Injuries are a part of the game, and I tell you, been a lot of them around the major leagues this year. The disabled list has claimed more players than the starting lineups. Pitch coming up to Johnny Ray. Ball 2, strike 1. You better keep an eye on Claudell. He sneaks off there. He's not a great base stealer, but he'll sneak off on you. Pitch before he had a big lead and didn't go. Here's a liner into left. Tracy Jones is going to catch it. Tracy with a diving catch in left field, and Johnny Ray is out.
Tracy really laboring on that knee, and he's a fellow that used to have one of the faster runners in baseball, but has slowed down considerably since his knee's been bothering him.
Out number 2, and it'll bring up Devon White, who struck out his first time up. Devon White. Well, he's a dandy. He took over in center field when Gary Pettis was traded to the Tigers. And they like him, and well, they should. He made a game-saving play on Friday night on a liner off the bat of Bergman. Good fastball right by him. Fellow has 9 home runs, 41 runs batted in.
Well, 87, he had 24 home runs. Last year, a disappointing year because he had a torn ligament in his knee, and he only hit 11 home runs a year ago. But they, and rightfully so, think this is one of the better players in all of baseball. He can do it all. Great base stealer.
Kevin Ritz is ready, and time calls. He took too much time to suit Devon White. Strike 1 to the Angel center fielder as Ritz delivers, and strike 2. He threw him a good breaking ball. Ken Anderson opened this inning with a walk. He was tagged out on a force play by the second baseman Brumley. Johnny Ray then lined it to left. It was caught by Tracy Jones. And it's strike 2 to Devon White.
Let's see if he's going to throw a slow breaking ball to Johnny Ray. Seems like he throws to first base more when his next pitch is going to be a slow pitch.
With strike 2, he just might be running. He'll give White a chance to lead it off if they do throw him out. He wheels it outside. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Yankees were disappointed they didn't re-sign Claudell Washington. Claudell said, well, they just took me for granted. While they were trying to decide what they were going to do, he signed with the Angels. And the pitch. Outside again. Ball 2 and strike 2.
Speaking of the Yankees, Walt Terrell, now a member of the New York Yankees, being traded from San Diego.
Ball 2, strike 2. Walt Terrell was with the Mets when the Tigers got him, and as you know, Al, he never did like New York.
Oh, he hated New York. Walt never complained about anything, but he's very vocal about not liking New York.
And he got him on the outside corner. Devon White caught looking, and he's out on strikes at the end of 3. The Tigers lead it 2-0.
Tigers baseball is brought to you by Metro Detroit's Quality Ford dealers, where their commitment to quality and good service makes them Detroit's best team. By Kroger, where you should look for the scissors, your symbol of savings. By Taco Bell, where your money always takes you farther. And by General Tire. Get on your Generals and go.
Here's our upcoming TV schedule. Tomorrow night, Monday night, we'll be in Milwaukee at 8 o'clock Michigan time, and again on Wednesday night, July 26th at 8 o'clock. Then the following week, we'll be in Chicago, Friday night, August 4th at 8 o'clock, and Sunday, August 6th, a 2 o'clock ball game. Tigers will take a charter right after the game and fly across the country to Milwaukee, where they'll open tomorrow night, and we'll be there with them. 2-0 the Tigers lead as Alan Trammell steps in. Allen flied to center field in the second inning. Tigers have 2 runs, 3 hits, no errors. No runs, 2 hits, and no errors for California. And a pitch inside. Ball 2, strike 1. Bert Blyleven, the veteran right-hander, delivers, and a drive hit to left, rather deep, back, and caught by Chili Davis. He was about to run out of room when he picked it off on the warning track. And we're going to pause 10 seconds for station identification on the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network. Well, where are the Tigers headed? An expert panel tackles this question with Scott Wally on Sports Final Edition. That's tonight at 11:30, only on Channel 4. Dave Bergman drew a walk his first time up. He's batting with one out, nobody on, as the boss man Sparky looks on. What a pitch was that? Don't see many of those from Blyleven. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the pitch to Bergman. Like it ball 2. Well, from the California Public Relations Department, Mark Orders would like to say hello to his mother, Grace Orders, who lives in Grand Rapids, a longtime Tiger fan. Grace Orders. Bergman is out. Out number 2 in the 4th inning, and it'll bring up Chet Lemon. Chester was out on a good play by Chili Davis his first time up. He didn't appear to hit the ball that well, but it carried extremely well into left center, and Chili made a good play. This one's bounced to Kent Anderson, the shortstop, and the quick throw to first. We go to the bottom of the 4th. The Tigers 2, California nothing. Here come the Angels in the 4th inning. Wally Joyner will lead it off. Brian Downing and Chili Davis will follow. Well, if you look at the standings in the American League, Baltimore having just an amazing year, still leading, but in second place today, starting play is Toronto. They're either next to last or second. They just keep moving like a yo-yo up and down.
They've won 10 of the last 14 games, only 6 games back.
6 games back. Cleveland 7 back, and the Yankees, who've lost 5 in a row starting play today, are 7.5 out. And pretty soon the explosion is going to come out of New York. Steinbrenner's been very quiet, but they've lost 5 in a row, and those 5 in a row came at the expense of the White Sox and the Texas Rangers, 2 clubs that they probably figure should not beat them. Boston 7.5 behind. They're having a disappointing year. Here's the 1-1 pitch to Wally Joyner. Ball hit hard at Brumley and off his glove. So Wally Joyner is on. Whether they hit his glove or his arm.
I think it takes a little bad hop. This ball has a lot of topspin, hits him on the wrist.
So the leadoff man is on.
They give him a base hit?
They did.
Wally world, unbelievable.
There's Brian Downing. We got Downing out in the first inning with 2 runners aboard. Ball, no strikes as Kevin Ritz gets ready. And this is foul. Bruce Stubing, the third base coach, skipping rope. Bruce Stubing is a longtime manager and very successful manager in the California farm system. In the wintertime, he's a very good basketball official.
You wouldn't look like. I think he still has that basketball he's protecting.
Carrying it around with him.
Yeah.
Pitches high to Brian Downing.
And on the other side, Bobby Knopp, an all-time favorite second baseman here, one of the better fielding second basemen of all time, the first base coach for the Angels.
Pitch to Downing. Ooh, he threw it right by him. Ball 2 and strike 2. I'm going to tell Moose Stubing. You said he carries his basketball with him.
You tell him, because I'm not going to see him anymore this year.
Hey. Oh, he's a big guy, but he's easy to get along with. Ball 2, strike 2. This is fouled away.
Brian, a better high ball hitter. He likes the ball up in the strike zone. You get it down, and he'll hit some ground balls, but he can hit the ball the right center and also pull it. Good high ball hitter.
Tigers hope he hits it on the ground at somebody. And he taps it slowly to the mound. They'll go to first base with it. He hit it right on the end of the bat, and Ritz had only one play. That was to first base. Down to second goes Wally Joyner, and the batter will be Chili Davis. Chili Davis bounced out his first time up. He's made a couple of pretty good plays today. One on Lemon, one on Trammell. As you see there, he's had only 4 hits in his last 35 trips, but one of those came last night in the 16th inning that drove in the winning run.
It was his first RBI at home since June the 21st, so he's been in a bad slump.
1 strike to Chili Davis. And a foul tip. Boy, it's been a lot of streaks like that going on. I was checking around the league at things that's been going on that just, you know, it just doesn't seem possible. Keith Moreland has batted in only 4 runs in his last 101 or 2 trips to the plate. He's been a big RBI man for the Tigers, but in a terrible slump right now as far as runs batted in. Dale Murphy of the Braves went something like 80 times with only 1 extra base hit before he hit a home run this week.
Well, Mattingly earlier in the year, home run wise.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Chili Davis, and Mike Heath with a few words for his young pitcher. It's a big out for him. He'd like to get this left-handed batter with a right-hander coming up. The 1-2 pitch. That'll make it 2-2.
Chili Davis has always been a victim of strikeouts. The last couple of years, he's been a strikeout victim over 100 times, 118 times last season.
A 2-2 pitch, and it's low, ball 3. 3-2 to Chili Davis. Bill Schroeder will bat next. We are at the Big A in Anaheim, California. I'm George Kell along with Al Kaline. Tigers 2, California nothing. The 3-2 pitch to Chili Davis. Ball's a base hit into right. Joyner's being waved in, and he's going to score on the throw to the plate. Chili Davis comes through with a base hit, and it's a 2-1 game.
Well, he hangs the breaking ball, and you see the big hole there between first and second.
He didn't hit it that hard, but he really split the gap between Brumley and Bergman. Joyner scoring, and it makes it a 2-1 ball game, and the batter is Bill Schroeder. Bill flied to right field his first time up, and he swings at a pitch out of the strike zone.
Schroeder, of course, with the Milwaukee Brewers, was a backup catcher to B.J. Surhoff. Angels not really sure about Lance Parrish, and they thought maybe they should have someone who could fill in for Lance in case he does have a problem with his back. Of course, Lance is having a big year for the Angels, hitting his 13th home run last night.
1 ball, 1 strike to Schroeder. Kevin Ritz delivers the breaking ball in for a strike. 1-2. Schroeder appears to believe it was inside as he takes a trip around the batter's box. 1 ball, 2 strikes, and he struck him out. Good fastball, and Schroeder is out on strikes. Second out of the inning, and it'll leave it up to Jack Howell.
Mike Heath setting well up outside. You see there, he's half of his body's out of the strike zone. Goes a fastball that tails right on the corner and actually just throws the ball by Schroeder.
And I mean, he put that ball exactly where he set up and was waiting for it, right into his mitt. Now, you don't see that happen too often, and certainly not from a rookie pitcher, but he did, and Schroeder strikes out. Now Jack Howell, and a pitch outside. Jack Howell bounced to second his first time up. This fellow's got a little power. He has 12 home runs. Tigers 2, Angels 1. We're in the 4th inning. We'll make it 2-0. Wally Joyner opened this inning with a base hit off the glove of Brumley at second. Downing tapped to the mound. Joyner went to second and scored on the hit by Chili Davis. This one inside. Ball 3, no strikes. It might turn him loose 3-0. 333 down the right field line. 362 right behind Lemon in right field. Ball 3, no strikes. Pitch coming up from Ritz. He walked it. Down to second goes Chili Davis. They have him at first and second, 2 outs for the shortstop, Kent Anderson. He walked the first time up. This is Kevin Ritz you're looking at. He's done a good job. He was in trouble in the first inning, got out of it, got him out 1, 2, 3 in the second. One base runner in the third. That was a walk to Anderson, but here in the 4th, a couple of hits and a walk. They've scored a run and have 2 runners aboard. 1 ball, no strikes. Ken Anderson's had only 2 hits in his last 32 trips to the plate. Ball, 1 strike. Dale Ford calling the balls and strikes today. Larry Barnett is at first base. Greg Kosk at second. And John Hirschbeck, the umpire, at third base. And the 1-1 pitch to Anderson. We'll make it 2-1. Ooh, he wants to get this fella. He doesn't want to pitch to Claudel with the bases loaded. Alex Grammas looking down. Sparky's to his left, Billy Muffet to his right, and then Veda Pinson. And the pitch. All 3. Ooh, 3-1 to Ken Anderson. Well, he struck out Schroeder. It looked like he was going to be out of the inning, but then he walked Howell, and it's ball 3, strike 1 to the shortstop. He fouls it away.
He's going to have a hard time walking Anderson. He's only walked 8 times in over 120 plate appearances.
Now, he would have walked right then if he'd held his bat. He swung at a bad pitch and fouled it away. They'll be running on the pitch. Ball 3, strike 2 with 2 outs as Ritz delivers. And a foul tip. That's one thing Kevin's got going for him. If he is around the plate at all, it looks like this fellow will swing at it. Dick Schofield is the regular shortstop, but after 4 hours on Friday night, 5 hours plus last night, I guess they're going to give him the day off, at least in a starting role. Here's the 3-2 pitch. And a base hit into left. That was tie the ball game. So the third, and it gets away, and didn't see Jack Howell.
They really had a play. This is not a bad throw. Should be an error on the third baseman. The ball, you can see there, he had plenty of time to make the play, if not knock it down. Kevin takes a lot of time there, and then all of a sudden, he makes the throw. Had he came up anticipating the guy scoring or trying to score, I think they could have made a play.
Well, you score that, a base hit for Anderson, a run batted in, an error on the play.
Oh, it'll be an error on the outfielder, but that has to be an error on the third baseman, I feel.
Whatever, the Angels have taken the lead 3-2 over the Tigers, scoring 3 times here in the 4th inning. Jack Howell scoring all the way from first base. He went to third on the base hit, then scored on the error. The batter is Claudel. Ball 2, no strikes to Claudel Washington. Ball 2, strike 1 to Claudel Washington. He's had a single today and safe on a fielder's choice play.
Been a tough inning for Kevin. The play at second base on Wally Joyner should have been an error. They gave him a base hit. Now another error.
Pitch is outside to Claudel. Ball 3. Ball 3, strike 1. California 3 and the Tigers 2. We're in the 4th inning. The 3-1 pitch coming up. And a line drive that'll be caught right at Trammell. At the end of 4, the Angels lead 3-2. Lead it off for the Tigers in the 5th inning. Doug struck out his first trip to the plate. A 3-2 ball game. The Angels in front. Tigers got 2 in the 3rd. Angels 3 in the 4th. And a strike to Doug Strange makes it 1-1. Kind of a slip-shod 4th inning for the Tigers. This one's bounce foul. Angels had 3 hits. Tigers made an error. Could have been charged with 2. You tell me they charged the error to the third baseman.
Third baseman, that's surprising. Usually an outfielder gets an error on a throw like that.
Give it to the poor old third baseman. They got nothing else to do. Just charge him with an error. Doug Strange strikes out on a curveball. So there's 1 out. Strange is out, and the batter will be Mike Heath. Mike Heath had an infield single his first time up, and he scored the first run of the game. Check swing, and he fouls it away.
Say happy birthday to Beatrice Bram of Flint, Michigan. Beatrice, 93 years old today. She's the mother-in-law of a good friend of mine, George Sharp.
All right. Ball hit into left field, just out of the reach of Jack Howell, who dived for it. And Mike Heath is on with a base hit. So a 1-out single by Mike. And the batter will be Mike Brumley.
Breaking ball, curveball going away from Mike, and he's able to just hit the ball past the third baseman.
Brumley had a base hit his first time up. He banged it into center field. And the pitch is high. We're in the 5th inning at the Big A in Anaheim. California 3 and the Tigers 2. The final game of this long weekend that started Thursday at 5 o'clock. Here's a strike. Friday night, Saturday night, and they wrap it up here today. In beautiful Southern California, Anaheim, just blocks away from Disneyland. This one's going to be foul. They say the fastest growing part of the nation, and I can believe it. For the last 10 years we've been coming out here, 15 years.
Tell you, when I got in here last night, Anaheim was a zoo. I've never seen so many people on the streets driving. I mean, traffic jams every place. Of course, Disneyland was letting out.
That story you were telling me on the way to the ballpark today.
It took me 2 hours to get about 4 miles from the Grand Hotel.
That's unbelievable.
To the hotel we're staying at.
And it's not over 2 miles.
And I could not get a cab. They would not answer your calls.
Here's the pitch. Brumley, did he swing at it? No. The next time you'll have to get a room at the Grand Hotel and just spend the night.
I tell you, next time I'm going to take a cab and charge the station. Instead of taking a bus where they drop me off, trying to be a nice guy, Mr. Nice Guy, save the old station some money.
Airport.
Took a bus and they dropped me off at the Grand, and I had to try to get a cab, and that was impossible last night.
The airport just 45 miles away. There goes the runner, and a foul ball out of play. I tell you, they're out here. They're here from everywhere. Tourists and people who live here.
You know, that's right. Chuck Wozniak just made a statement I never thought of.
You should have called his room.
I should have called his room.
He would have gotten his little old car and
come over and pick me up.
Don't call me. Not at 12:30. There goes the runner again. The throw to second, and a high throw, and he was called out on strikes. Schroeder made a very high throw. It was flagged down by Anderson. Look at that last pitch. It didn't look that good, but Dale Ford thought so, and he waved him away. Well, it'll be a stolen base for Heath.
Well, that strikeout there just moved Bert Blyleven past Walter Johnson in 6th place, all-time strikeout with 3,509 strikeouts.
And he's getting a standing ovation from this big crowd at the Big A in Anaheim.
Boy, what a job he has done for the Angels. 10-2, leading the American League starting pitchers in earned run average.
Gary Pettis is the batter with a runner at second and a pitch outside to Gary, who's flied to left and bunted his last time up. He bunted the runners along. That's the tying run at second. Gary's had a big weekend here. This is going to get back in the crowd. The mother has the ball, and the youngster says, I'm going to have it or else. And finally, he does get it. 1 ball, 1 strike. Blyleven ready for the pitch to Pettis, and it's low, ball 2. Tigers have used 41 players this year. That's the most in any season since 1979. And we're just a little over halfway through. Here's a bunt right out in front of the plate, and safe at first base on a very close play. Blyleven did about all you could do. He came off the mound, made a strong throw, and Gary Pettis beat the relay.
This is not a real good bunt, except that it is high. Why Gary does not do more of this through the course of the game, we don't know. Close play. Barehands the ball. If he goes down with both hands, he probably couldn't get rid of the ball as fast. I tell you, that's close play. And Jones, I think if he'd have stretched towards the throw, he might have been out. But he just was able to. He just sat back and waited till the ball come to him.
Not the greatest play in the world, though, with a runner at second, the tying run out there.
Wait a minute. Now, Gary Pettis has gone 115 times and has only 3 RBIs. So maybe that was the reason.
Well, he's going to leave it up to the right-handed hitting Tracy Jones, who's 0 for 2 against Blyleven.
That's hard to believe. 115 times, only 3 RBIs.
And he's had only 3 all year long. It's amazing. This one's fouled away. And home runs.
Gary has one.
One home run.
That means only 2 other times this season he drove a run in.
This is Tracy Jones. Flied to right and bounced to third. And a pitch outside. Angels are halfway expecting Gary Pettis to be running. Montreal a winner today. They beat Cincinnati 12-4. They scored 5 times in the 9th inning last night to beat Cincinnati. 6-5. Cincinnati ball club has really fallen on hard times.
But Gary's got to be trying to run here. Make him throw the ball around. Might throw it into center field.
It's 1-2 to Tracy Jones. Blyleven ready. There goes the runner, and he strikes out on a sweeping curveball. Tracy Jones is out. We go to the bottom of the 5th. 3-2 California. Here come the Angels in the 5th inning. Johnny Ray will lead it off. Devon White and Wally Joyner will follow. Other scores: Milwaukee a winner today. They beat Minnesota 4-1. Frank Viola started that game for Minnesota. Juan Berenguer relieved him. Tom Fowler started for Milwaukee. He gets the win. Chuck Krim relieved. Frank Viola has won 8, lost 11 this year. Hasn't been the best of years for Mr. Viola.
There are not too many happy campers over in Minneapolis. Viola and several guys have popped off, so they can't bring this same team back next year. And they have basically the same team that they had when they won it.
Won the World Championship. On paper, it looks like a good club. Here's Johnny Ray to lead it off. Robin Yount had a home run in that game. His second. His 11th of the year. He hit it in the 2nd inning. There's a bouncing ball into right field, picked off by Mike Brumley, and he made a good play on it. About 3 steps back on the grass in right field, and Brumley with a fine play to throw out Johnny Ray.
Oh, this is a good play by the young man, not used to playing second base, and a very difficult throw, and he throws a strike to first base.
I think Johnny Ray thought it was a base hit. And it did indeed look like it for a moment. We'll bring up Devon White, who's been to the plate twice, and he struck out twice. And a bunt attempt is missed. In Chicago today, the Cubs the winner. They beat San Francisco 9-5. Maddox the winner. He's won 10 times this year. This is right into the Tiger dugout. Scatter a few people.
Watch out, somebody else will go on the DH or disable list.
Breaking ball is low to Devon White. 1 ball, 2 strikes. The hits are even at 5 apiece, and the Angels lead it 3-2. And this one's high ball, too. The Houston Astros 3, Philadelphia 2, and another good year for Houston underway. 3-2 Houston over Philadelphia today. There's a line drive, base hit into left. Just out of the reach of Trammell into left field, and Devon White gets his first hit. Good piece of hitting by this young man. He had 2 quick strikes on him, and he goes to the opposite field.
Just out of the reach of Alan Trammell, and you can look for him to be off and running. 28 stolen bases and 37 attempts.
The batter is Wally Joyner, who's been to the plate twice, and he's been on base twice. He walked, then he singled and scored a run in the 4th inning. There goes the runner. Pitch out. Throw to second, and out at second base. They call for the pitch out. Mike Heath threw a perfect strike to Alan Trammell, and Devon White is out.
I tell you, he made it close at second base, even on the pitch out. Good throw.
They don't get him any other way.
No, has to be a good throw, even on the pitch out.
And the pitch coming up to Joyner. It's a low ball, too. Ball 2, no strikes. Kevin Ritz delivers. We'll make it 2-1.
See, Wally Joyner is not what we call a dead pull hitter, even though he does have tremendous power, but usually hits the ball right center, left center field.
He fouls this one back on the screen. He has 5 home runs, 45 runs batted in.
He has a swing like Alvin Davis of Seattle. He's very slow, and then all of a sudden really goes through the strike zone quickly. Glides into the ball.
Ball 3, strike 2. Wally Joyner batting with 2 outs and nobody on. We're in the 5th. The Angels lead by 1. And the payoff pitch. He walked. So Wally Joyner is on for the 3rd time today. And the batter will be Brian Downey. Downing is flied to center and tapped to the mound in 2 trips. But this fella can lull you to sleep. Just about the time he takes a couple of bad swings, you think you got him, and then boom, he'll hit one. 1 ball, no strike. Kevin Ritz. And the pitch coming up to Downing. Right back to the middle. Trammell's got it. The flip to Brumley in time for the out. At the end of 5, it's still 3-2 California. Our upcoming TV schedule tomorrow night we'll be in Milwaukee at 8 o'clock Michigan time, and Wednesday night July 26th at 8 o'clock. And then on Friday, August 4th, from Chicago at 8 o'clock, and Sunday, August 6th at 2 o'clock from Chicago. Fred Lynn will lead it off. He's had a base hit today and batted in a run. Tigers started the scoring with 2 in the 3rd inning. California got 3 in the 4th inning.
Fred has always done well against Bert Blyleven, 397 lifetime with 6 home runs.
And he hits it on the ground to second. Bobble for a moment and out at first. Johnny Ray knocked it down. He kept the ball right in front of him. He knew exactly what he was doing and just took his time and made the throw to first base. That'll bring up Trammell, who has flied to center and hit the ball rather well his last time up. Caught by Chili Davis on the warning track in left field. That's the curveball, a good curveball. I don't think quite as sharp and as quick and as fast as it once was, but still a good curve. Boy, at one time he was vicious with that curveball.
He threw so hard, and this curveball sort of went straight down. Tough to pick the spin up. Used to throw a lot harder than he does now. Still throws very well, but not as hard as he once did. I think he has better control now than he did back 10 years ago or so.
And a strike on the outside corner to Trammell. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Bert Blyleven delivers, and Trammell just swung at the last moment. The curveball started inside, and he could see it was going to come out over the plate, and he just got a piece of it. You can see what kind of a day it is here in Southern California. Shirt sleeve crowd. And some without shirts. A goodly number without shirts. Ball 2 and strike 2. Here's the bleachers. Blyleven delivers, and he struck him out. He threw the fastball by him, and Alan Trammell a strikeout victim.
Alan down 3/4, and now I'm maybe expecting the breaking ball, but Blyleven throws a fastball right by him.
5 strikeouts today for Blyleven. He struck out the side in the 5th inning around 2 hits. And he gets Trammell here in the 6th inning. Dave Bergman has walked and bounced out today. And just as Blyleven gets ready, Bergman steps out. Tigers are looking for their first win in this series, but it's been a well-played, hard-fought series. Tigers lost here in the 9th inning on Thursday night. Friday night, they lost again in the 9th inning. They had a 1-run lead when Joyner hit a 2-run homer. Last night, they lost in the 16th inning. So they've been in every ball game, but coming up short. It's 1-2 today, Bergman.
The Angels has beaten Detroit 10 times this season.
Yeah, and lost only 1. This is the 12th and final meeting of the year between the two teams. Here's a base hit into right. Dave Bergman lines a 2-out single into right field. And the batter will be Chet Lemon.
Chester's done pretty well against Blyleven for a right-handed batter. Certainly he's much tougher on right-handers than left-handers. He's batted .254 lifetime against Blyleven.
Chester's had 1 home run in this series. Pitch outside corner for a strike. Chester with a few words for Dale Ford, and Dale's giving that evil look right now. Blyleven ready for the 1-strike pitch. Breaking ball is in, strike 2. Umpires don't care too much what you say or how you say it, as long as you get back in the batter's box and keep talking. Don't show them up and let everybody in the ballpark know that you're fussing at them.
Especially the hometown players.
Oh, yeah.
That's when the fans get on them, and you know, you're going to get abuse. If you're an umpire, you have to expect abuse, because what's the old saying? Every call, somebody's going to dislike it or like it.
Oh, sure they are. But just get back in and have your say while you're standing in there looking out at the pitcher. But if you turn around and start fussing at the umpire, then the crowd will get on. It's 1-2 to Chet Lemon. Tigers down by a run as they bat in the 6th inning. Bergman, the runner at first, 2 outs. And the pitch is outside, ball 2. Ball 2 and strike 2. You see the runner at first, Bergman. He's no threat to steal. So Blyleven goes after the hitter and strikes him out. A slow curveball, and Lemon strikes out. We go to the bottom of the 6th. 3-2 California. Here come the Angels in the 6th inning. They'll be sending up Chili Davis, Bill Schroeder, and Jack Howell against Kevin Ritz as we get a look at some of the customers at today's game on a lazy summer day in Anaheim. Should be in the 90s, I would imagine. It's rather warm. Well, the California Ball Club will leave after the game, the same as the Tigers, but they will be going north to Oakland to open a big 3-game series. And these two ball clubs started play today in a virtual tie for first place. So it'll be a big series in Oakland.
Oakland just beat up on Baltimore, didn't they? Beat them 3 straight.
They have beaten Baltimore 3 straight, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and they're playing again today. The Baltimore club. They've lost 4 in a row now. Still have a 6-game lead in the American League East. Toronto's in second place. Nobody's been able to mount a run at them.
It's been a very weak division, to say the least.
Now the White Sox are proving that. They just got through sweeping the Yankees, won 2 straight in Boston before finally getting beat today. Here's a strike. Strike 2 to Chili Davis. He had a base hit, batted in a run, then he scored a run in the 4th inning when California scored 3.
They actually should not have scored any.
You are right. Alan Trammell's going to put this one away. No, Kevin Ritz very well could have a shutout right now with a little better glove work behind him. So Chili Davis is out, and the batter is Bill Schroeder, who flied to right and struck out today.
Kevin has really done a good job. Much better, I must say. To be all honest with you, better than I thought he would against the Angels, because they do have some good left-handed hitters.
Strange across the diamond, and whoop, he's out. He was off the bag for a moment. Larry Barnett said he got back in time. The throw pulls him off. Let's take a look at this. I don't know whether he got back or not.
Doug doesn't seem to really throw the ball over there hard, does he?
No.
Sort of just guides it. He tries to get rid of it quick instead of taking his time and firing that thing over there.
He did get back in time. He got on the bag, so Bill Schroeder is out, and the batter is Jack Howell, who has walked and scored a run today. 0 for 1. 3-2 California leads. We're in the 6th inning. Breaking ball is low. Jack Howell batting only .223, but he has 12 home runs. And a fly ball deep into left field. Jones on the warning track's going to catch it right in the corner. At the end of 6, it's 3-2 California. Well, here it is. This is our Bud batter's box inning, and going for the prize today is Paula Lipson from Oak Park. And if a Tiger hits a home run this inning, Paula will win $100 and a share of the $10,000 bonus at the end of the year. So good luck to you, Paula Lipson from Oak Park, Michigan. Tigers are down by a run. They need a home run to get back in the game. Doug Strange will lead it off. Mike Heath and Mike Grumley will follow. Tigers are playing today without their big home run man. Lou Whitaker has a bad back, and he's not able to play. The pitch is outside to Strange.
And Whitaker, by the way, has hit Blyleven better than anybody on the Tiger team. Not in the lineup today.
There's a pop fly down the line and left. Chili Davis coming over, and it falls in for a hit, and Strange is going to hold with a single. It was a strange play, as Chili Davis looked like he was going to catch it and then pulled up short.
Unless he was playing him well around the pole, that ball stayed up in the air a long time. He might not got a bad jump on it. Maybe he didn't see it well enough. It is tough to see here in the outfield because so many people wear white shirts, but that ball stayed up in the air a long time.
So a leadoff single by Strange, and the batter will be Mike Heath, who's had a couple of hits today. He was trying to go to right field with it. Angels looking for the bunt. Howell in very close at third. Strike to the Tiger catcher. There goes the runner, and a bouncer towards second. That'll get the runner down there, and Heath is out on a good play by Johnny Ray. Oh, a good play by Heath, who got the bat on the ball on a pitch that was outside. Look at this.
This ball is on the ground, well out of the strike zone. Blyleven can't get to it. Tough play for Johnny Ray. just barely gets Mike at first base. Tigers doing everything they can to get some runs. They have been struggling, having a hard time scoring runs off the Angels.
And the batter is Mike Brumley. He has singled, scored a run, and struck out today. Mike Brumley playing in place of Lou Whitaker. And a pitch outside. Mike singled his first time up in the third inning and scored a run in that inning. The Tigers scored 2. This one's fouled away. Well, both starting pitchers are still in there. Bert Blyleven for the Angels, Kevin Ritz for the Tigers. And a close one-run ball game. A 1-1 pitch to Brumley. It's a ball. Ball 2. Ball 2, strike 1. Mike Brumley waiting on the 2-1 pitch. He could tie it up with a base hit. And trying to get the signs straight. Blyleven signaling in to Schroeder. We start over again. Here's the pitch. And a fly ball into deep right center field. It's going to be caught. Strange tags up. He heads for third. Here comes the throw, and not nearly in time. Brumley hit it a long way for a little guy. Carried into deep right center. It's the second out of the inning, and it'll leave it up to Gary Pettis. Gary, who has batted in only 3 all year, has a chance to bat in the tying run right here.
And he'll have the third baseman looking right down his throat because the last time up he beat out a bunt.
First and third out.
Right, they're both in, so he has a chance to knock the ball by him.
Blyleven is ready, and the pitch to Pettis is a strike. He got a breaking ball over. Any kind of a base hit could tie it up. Doug Strange, the runner at third base. And this one's high. 1 ball, 1 strike. Everybody's shallow on the infield. They're in at short, second, very close at third. And the 1-1 pitch. We'll make it ball 2. Gary Pettis flied to left field in the first inning, had a sacrifice bunt in the third, and a bunt single in the 5th inning. And it's ball 2 and strike 1. We'll make it ball 3. I tell you, it's tough on the infielders with a tying run at third and a fellow like Pettis at the plate. A ground ball must be handled cleanly and quickly. You bobble it for an instant, the tying run is across. Ball 3, strike 1. And a base hit into left. Gary Pettis comes through with a 2-out clutch single, and we have a tie ball game. He punched it, a low liner into left field, and Doug Strange comes in to score.
Here's a swing by Gary, just trying to hit the ball past the third baseman, out of the reach of the shortstop. Even if he came up with that ball, there was no way he was going to get Gary at first base.
And they're going to have to get him at second, I would think. Here's a foul ball out of play. If Tracy Jones lets one go by, Pettis probably will be running.
One strike now. They might pitch out, anticipating Gary trying to get into scoring position.
They go to first base, and back goes Pettis with a head-first dive. We're tied at 3 here in the 7th inning. A pitch to Jones. There he goes, and Tracy fouled it away. A bad pitch, too. High and inside.
That thing was well over his head.
Gary Pettis had a big jump. It looked like he was going to steal the base, and Tracy Jones fouled it away. You got to be very patient to hit second in the lineup. And Tracy Jones, I would imagine, has hit second very little in his major league career. He's not the ideal second place hitter.
No, he doesn't walk very much, and if you throw a fastball, he's going to try to swing at it. He might take a breaking ball more so, but you throw a fastball and he'll swing at it.
It's strike 2 to Jones. He's going to get a breaking ball, I would imagine, right now. There goes Pettis again, and a pop-up behind shortstop. Gary Pettis was looking for the ball, but there's 2 outs. All he's got to do is run. Tigers score a run. We go to the bottom of the 7th, tied at 3. No Tiger home runs in the 7th inning, but because a Tiger reached base, we're going to be sending our designated Bud batter, Paulo Lipsitz, from Oak Park, a Budweiser jacket and cap. And if you'd like to enter, you just send your name, address, and phone number to Bud Batter's Box, Post Office Box 13239, St. Louis, Missouri 63157. 29,444. 29,444. The paid attendance.
The shortstop, Ken Anderson.
On a warm, beautiful Sunday afternoon in Anaheim, California. This is Anderson. Kent Anderson will lead it off. He's walked and singled today. Batted in a run his last time up. Not only batted in a run, but a wild throw to third. It got by the third baseman, allowed another run to score. That's when the Angels took the 3-2 lead. He fouls this one away. Kristen Bert, formerly from Lansing, Michigan, is here, and he wants to say hello to his parents, Doris and Roger Berg, back in Lansing. Kristen is a brother to John Berg in Lansing. Here's the pitch. It's outside. Ball 2, strike 1. John Berg of Capital Federal fame, and his brother Kristen out here. That's a strike, says Dale Ford over the outside corner, and the count goes even at 2-2. And a ground ball to second. So there's one out here in the 7th. One out. We go to the top of the batting order and pause right now. 10 seconds for station identification on the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network. Mistakenly released from prison, a convicted murderer now lives as a free man. The story on Inside Edition tomorrow at 4:30, only on Channel 4. Here's Claudel. He's had a base hit today, and the pitch is high and tight. Sparky's got to be proud of this young man, Kevin Ritz.
He sure has. You know, his pitching staff is riddled. Yes, it certainly is, and he's given them a good effort. Good play.
It's not a play you practice a whole lot, but Kevin Ritz falling down, trying to get out of the way, and he speared it. You see the grin on his face.
The ball took a high hop. You know, it looked like it was going to stay down, and all of a sudden it took a big hop. And his reflexes were able to spear the ball and throw him out.
Well, last night, Paul Gibson pitched for the Tigers. Sparky told Paul, he said, hey, you know we are shot in the bullpen. You've got to go a long way and give me all you can. He went 10 innings in a brilliant performance. He told Kevin Ritz the same thing today. We were in the clubhouse before the game. He says this fellow's got to turn it up a notch or two, and Kevin Ritz has done just that.
Sparky told me he doesn't know who he's going to pitch Tuesday in Milwaukee. Got Alexander ready for Monday. He says we might have to use 3 or 4 guys Tuesday.
Johnny Ray with a swing at the curveball and a strike 2. Tell you, Kevin Ritz very well could have a shutout with just a little help. This pitch is in the dirt.
Yeah, back in the 4th inning, Wally Joyner led off and hit the ball just to the right of Mike Brumley. Now, Mike is a shortstop, and your reaction when the ball hits you to the right, just try to backhand the ball because you're used to have to make that long throw. He had plenty of time to get over in front of that ball at second base.
Here's one bounced right at him. He picks it off, and the inning is over. At the end of 7, we're tied at 3.
Well, we have a new pitcher for the Angels, Rich Monteleone, formerly in the Tiger organization. In fact, he was signed by the Detroit Tigers and at one time was a bright prospect and looked like he was going to be a good major league pitcher, but falling on some hard times. He was released by the Seattle Ball Club and signed as a free agent on May the 13th by the Angel Ball Club, and you see his record there: 2 wins and 1 loss. He has pitched in 13 games, 21 innings, allowed just 11 hits and 3 runs.
He pitched here against the Tigers on Friday night and pitched very well against his former teammates. So they bring him back today in the 8th inning of a tie ball game.
What I remember of Rich is he doesn't throw real hard, but did have a good breaking ball, particularly a slider.
Fred Lynn will lead it off, and the pitch is outside. Lynn's had 1 hit today and 3 trips. We are tied at 3 in the 8th inning. Here's a drive into left center. This ball is over his head. He looked like he had it, and it got away from Devon White. I think he thought he had caught it. Maybe it sailed on him, but over his head to the wall, and Lynn is at second base.
I think what happened, he misjudged how hard Fred Lynn hit the ball. You see, he went straight across and then had to go back. Instead of circling the ball, he had a better angle, and the ball off the tip of his glove.
Well, they score that a 2-base hit. Lynn's at second with nobody out, and the batter is Trammell, who's hitless today in 3 trips.
And you saw there a great shot by our cameraman that shaking his head out in center field. He knew he should have caught the ball.
Now Devon White gets him with the best of them. He made a game-saving play on Bergman Friday night. And then lets one get away from him here in the 8th inning. Alan Trammell flied to center, to left, and he struck out his last time up. Jack Howell playing in very close at third. He looks for the bunt, but I would be surprised if Trammell bunted. 1 ball, 1 strike.
How about the second baseman? There's a possibility if Allen hits the ball sharply to second base, they will throw to third base. Johnny Ray playing close at second base.
Trammell can hit the ball to right, and he knows what to do in this spot. So we'll see what happens. The pitcher is Rich Monteleone. Bert Blyleven went the first 7 innings, allowed 3 runs on 8 hits. Now it's in the hands of Monteleone, who's the pitcher of record. Trammell was ready to bunt. I don't think that was a fake. Not with 1 strike on him. The pitch was low.
Boy, it's pretty tough when you ask your fourth place hitter to bunt with a man on second in a tie game. I don't think he was told to bunt. I think he was doing it on his own.
Well, he's got a few people thinking out there, including the first and third baseman right now. And he does bunt, and it's foul. Wasn't a very good effort by Trammell. He can bunt better than that. Ball 2 and strike 2. That's the go-ahead run at second base with nobody out. We're in the 8th inning in Anaheim. Tigers 3, Angels 3. You see the runner at second, Fred Lynn. And the 2-2 pitch coming up to Trammell. And he pops it up. A foul fly outside of first is picked off by Joyner. And the batter is Bergman. Well, he had Alan Trammell completely tied up. Didn't have a very good attempt on the bunt. Not a very good swing at that one, and he's out. Here's Bergman, who's had a base hit today. A walk, a single, and a bounce out. So he's 1 for 2. Rich Monteleone. The pitch coming up to Bergman. And he hits it on the end of the bat to the shortstop, who throws him out. Good play by Anderson, who fielded the ball barehanded. It's a risky play when you have to pick it up.
Dangerous play. The ball hit on the end of the bat, had a lot of spin on it. But to Anderson, it was no problem at all.
Or you risk there, the ball is skipping by you, really, as you say, hit on the end of the bat, spinning, and if it had spun by him, Lynn scores, but he made a fine play. Bergman is out. Lynn goes to third, and it's all up to Chet Lemon. Chester looking for his first hit today. It was a 2-out single in the 7th by Pettis that tied the ball game. So a 2-out single by Lemon could put the Tigers in front. Monteleone gets ready, and the 1-strike pitch coming up to Chester. That'll make it 1-1. Boy, Cleveland had a field day today in Kansas City. They beat the Royals 17-5. Joe Carter hit any home runs?
I don't know. He usually does.
Yeah, he's hit a few this year. Here's the pitch. And a base hit into left. Chester Lemon with a 2-out clutch base hit. And the Tigers take the lead. Well, they haven't seen this much this year. 2 straight innings. 2-out base hits that drive in big runs.
Yes, sir. Chester waiting on that breaking pitch. A slow breaking ball, it looked like. And he reaches out pretty much with one hand and drives it into left field.
4-3, the Tigers lead here in the 8th. And the batter is Strange, who's had a single and scored a run. Monteleone delivers. Boy, he hit this one a ton, but foul. He had it home run bound, but pulled it about 20 feet foul down the right field line. Tigers lost in the 9th inning here on Thursday night. They carried a 1-run lead into the 9th inning on Friday night, got beat. And they lost last night in the 16th inning. A bouncer to first, and Wally Joyner picks it off. We go to the bottom of the 8th. The Tigers lead by 1. Here come the Angels in the 8th inning. The Tigers with a 4-3 lead. Tigers led at one time, 2-0. California came back to get 3. The Tigers tied it in the 7th on a single by Pettis with 2 outs, and they go ahead in the top of this inning on a 2-out single by Lemon. And they They place it all in the hands of young Kevin Ritz, who has pitched very well here today.
And it's going to be tough. They have some real good hitters coming up here in the 8th inning. White, Joyner, and Downing, and plus Davis if someone's chatting to get on. So this is the big inning against some pretty good hitters.
We told you Cleveland beat Kansas City 17-5. Bud Black was the winner. Former Kansas City pitcher, and Mark Gubicza had such a big year last year.
And last night, Kansas City lost 1-0 against Cleveland.
Young Gordon.
Tom Gordon. He's now, what?
10-3.
10-3 now.
Is he a good-looking pitcher or not? I really like that kid.
10 games out of the bullpen first half, so he has a pretty good shot at winning 20 games.
Devon White has struck out twice and singled today. He takes the pitch high.
Getting some action in the bullpen, I believe. Looked like some action down there, and I would say Mike Henneman probably throwing.
Ball 2. Ooh, you got to throw strikes. A 1-run lead in the 8th inning, and it's ball 2, no strikes.
There's Henneman throwing, and Brad Havens. Both of the two guys that are available are now throwing in the bullpen.
There's a fly ball into center field. Gary Pettis will run it down in left center. So Devon White is out. He fell behind. Ball 2, no strikes. Then he gets him on a fly ball. It's a big out when you get Devon White, who can not only the leadoff man, but he runs extremely well. You want him off the bases.
And the hottest hitter on the Angels right now, Wally Joyner.
Wally Joyner today has walked, singled, and walked again.
But safely 10 of his last 11 games.
Well, he had a home run here on Friday night. A 2-run shot in the 9th that beat the Tigers. Kevin Ritz is ready, and the pitch is high. They watch a young pitcher. They watch any pitcher in the 8th and 9th inning. If he begins to throw high, they figure he's losing a little bit. There's a foul ball out of play.
Now, if he should happen to lose Joyner on base, I would imagine that Sparky will go to Henneman, because he doesn't want to break the confidence of Kevin. He doesn't want him to be a losing pitcher. So I would imagine if he loses Joyner, if he gets on, they'll bring in Mike Henneman.
He has a big rip at it. You know, a good, strong outing, I think what you're saying by this young man, and he's had it here today, will build his confidence for the rest of the year. Whether the Tigers win or lose, as long as he doesn't lose it in the 8th or 9th. This one's outside. Ball 2 and strike 2. He's thrown nothing but fastballs at Wally Joyner.
Gary Pettis very shallow in center field. Normally Tiger outfielders play too deep, but in this point time in game, I think Gary's a little shallow in center field.
Ball 3. Ball 3, strike 2. Brian Downing will bat next. We're in the 8th. 1 out, nobody on. Tigers lead by 1. And a fly ball into shallow center. Here's Pettis. Glasses down, high sky. He puts it away. Out number 2. They get the very dangerous Wally Joyner, and Brian Downing will be the batter. Cleveland pitchers used to say years ago in a tight ball game, make them hit the ball to Boudreaux, the shortstop, and the manager, and he'd make the play. Well, hit it to Pettis. The Tigers seem to be saying he'll catch it if it stays in the ballpark. He retires the first 2 here in the 8th inning. This is Brian Downing with 2 outs and nobody on. And you know what Brian Downing is thinking? He's looking for one pitch that he can drive a long ways. Extra bases, if not out of the ballpark. 1 ball, no strikes. We'll make it ball 2. Two and 0 to Brian Downing. Ball 3. Do they turn him loose 3 and 0 or leave it up to Chili Davis? Ball 3, no strikes. Kevin Ritz is ready, and he walked him. On 4 straight pitches, Brian Downing walks.
It's the 5th walk issued by Kevin today.
Boy, you don't know what's going through the minds of these fellows right here, the brain trust of the Tigers. They've seen everything happen that can happen this year. And they're putting all their heads together right now. Murphy says maybe he'll hit it at somebody. Chili Davis has had a hit today, batted in a run. And the pitch is high. Oh, he's beginning to get high, and that's enough. Sparky says, hey, when a young pitcher begins to get wild, high, late in the ball game, you figure he's lost a little something off the fastball. And he wants the right-hander. He wants Mike Henneman.
Yeah, he wants this young man to he's pitched a whale of a ball game. He wants him to leave and have a lot of confidence, and he has done an excellent job. There's no question about it. A little bit wild, but still a great performance by Kevin, and that certainly helped him, I believe, in his next performance. So Sparky has called for Mike Henneman.
And while there's a break in the action with the score, the Tigers 4, California 3, we're going to pause for these words.
Okay, Mike Henneman trying to save this ball game for young Kevin Ritz, who, as George and I mentioned, has done a great job for Sparky Anderson and the Detroit Tigers. As we look at the record of Mike Henneman, 6 wins and 3 losses. Of course, not quite the year that we're used to seeing from Mike last year, particularly 22 saves, but injuries has been a part of the reason why Michael does not have more saves. Fastball, slider, and a good split finger pitch that more and more of the hitters are looking for off of Michael. He's been relying on that pitch more than ever before, and consequently the hitters are not fooled nearly as much as they were last year.
Well, it hasn't been a good series for Mike Henneman out here. He's been roughed up quite a bit. He gave up the winning run on Thursday night. He was a losing pitcher. He came in the 8th inning on Friday night with a 2-run lead, gave up 2 runs that tied the score. So he's got a chance to redeem himself here on this Sunday afternoon. Tigers lead by 1, a runner at first base. 2 outs in the 8th inning. And he'll inherit 1 ball, no strike count on Chili Davis. Chili Davis has some power. He has 11 home runs this year.
And particularly from the left side. 7 home runs from the left side, only 4 right-handed.
Well, he had a vicious swing at that one.
He's a much better hitter left-handed than right-handed. All throughout his career, he's been a better left-handed hitter than right-handed.
Most switch hitters are they not? Would that be a fair statement?
I would think so. I don't know. Mano, I thought, was a better right-handed hitter.
More power left-handed.
Yeah.
More home runs.
More home runs.
Left-handed. Of course, Yankee Stadium had a lot to do with that. 1 ball, 1 strike to Chili Davis. And a pitch outside makes it ball 2. Our congratulations to Carl Yastrzemski, Johnny Bench, and Red Shandies, who have been by now already inducted into the Hall of Fame in Cooperstown, New York on this day. Ball 2, strike 1. Ball 3. 3-1 to Chili Davis. Well, you can't give in to him here. You've got a right-hander coming up next. I would imagine they'll pinch hit for Schroeder, but Chili Davis is in a position of being very selective. He can look for one certain pitch. And he fouls it away. A pretty good pitch to hit. Well, the runner at first base, Ryan Downing, will be running on the pitch. It's ball 3, strike 2 with 2 outs. Tigers lead by 1 in the 8th inning. $29,444 here today, and they're still here. As Henneman gets ready for the 3-2 pitch to Chili Davis. And another foul ball. Well, the wind is blowing toward left center field, and a rather strong breeze, but this stadium is enclosed triple deck all the way around. You've got to get it rather high before it carries. The wind will help it that much. He walked him. Missed on the outside part of the plate, so 2 walks here in the 8th inning, and the Angels are in business. It's going to be Lance Parrish. Parrish, a right-handed batter, is going to bat for Schroeder.
From the Angels,
Lance Parrish has, of course, set the all-time home run mark for catchers for the Angels, 13th last night. But he's also moved up his batting average. When we last saw him in Detroit, he was way down, but he's moved his batting average up to 270. And that's the highest he's been for quite a long time.
Well, looking down the roster of the California Ball Club, they don't have a left-handed batter to send up there. It's got to be a right-hander, and it will be Lance Parrish.
Lance likes the ball up in the strike zone. He'll go fishing for a lot of off-speed pitches in the dirt. Lance finally had that one big game last night he's been trying to do against Detroit all year long. He's been struggling, and I talked to him in Detroit. He said, I'd just like to have one big game against the Tigers, and last night certainly he had a good one.
2 on and 2 outs as Mike Henneman gets ready, and the pitch is a strike. That's exactly where he wants to pitch Parrish.
He wants to get ahead of him so he can throw his split finger pitch, that's for sure.
1 strike to Lance. Downing, the runner at second base. Chili Davis at first base. 2 outs. A very tense moment in this ball game. That'll make it 1-1. He laid off a tough pitch. Tigers are very deep on the infield. Alan Trammell is back on the outfield grass. Brumley at second on the edge of the grass, and Strange very deep at third. They're going to try to knock it down, a ground ball. Don't let it get through the infield. And a strike. That'll make it 1-2, and Parrish didn't like the call on that one. That gets the crowd going on the umpire, and the umpire doesn't like that. Lance swirled and said something to Dale Ford, and the crowd sensed that he didn't like it, and if Parrish doesn't like it, then they don't like it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He will swing at a bad pitch. See what Henneman elects to do. Oh, he laid off of a tough one. Ball 2 and strike 2. Kevin Ritz got the first 2 batters this inning. White and Joyner both fly to center field. Then he walked Downing. And with a 1-ball count on Davis, that brought Henneman in, who walked Davis. Now the 2-2 pitch. He got him right down the middle, and he's out on strikes. Lance took a good pitch right down the middle, and the inning is over at the end of 8. The Tigers lead it 4-3. The Greater Michigan Michigan and Metro Detroit Ford Dealers American League scoreboard. Chicago beat Boston today 8-2. Milwaukee beat Minnesota 4-1. Cleveland a big winner over Kansas City 17-5. Oakland 3, Baltimore 2. They complete a sweep of the Orioles. Seattle 4-2 over Toronto. That's in the 7th inning. And the Yankees play in Arlington tonight.
Oh, Sunday night game in Arlington. Can't beat that.
You got a new pitcher, Mr. Kaline.
That's right. We'll be there soon. And we have a new pitcher. Bob McClure is the new pitcher, the veteran left-hander, 35-year-old left-hander. We know him most from the Milwaukee Brewers. Many years with the Brewers, with Montreal the last couple years. Signed as a free agent, another free agent by the Angel. He makes his home out here in California. His record 2 wins and 1 loss.
Mike Heath will lead it off, then Brumley and Pettis to follow in the 9th inning. The Tigers 4, California 3. Bob McClure, little left-hander delivers. Did he swing at it? He probably did. And here's the call at first base from Greg Kosk. Larry Barnett at first base. Greg Kosk is at second. 1 strike to Mike Heath. And this is going to be foul into the crowd. Mike Hitteman got a big strikeout as he got Parrish looking at a call, 3rd strike with 2 runners aboard. And Lance stays in the ball game. He's doing the catching for California. Mike Heath waiting on the 2-strike pitch. Very close. It'll make it 1-2. Our next telecast will be tomorrow night in Milwaukee, 8 o'clock Michigan time. Heath waiting on the 1-2 pitch. And a base hit into right. Mike Heath drills it into right, so the leadoff man is on here in the 9th inning. And they'll look for the bunt from Mike Brumley.
2 strike. Mike just protecting the plate and just punched the ball to right field. Just trying to put the ball in play. This time he finds the hole at second base.
Well, the tough little catchers had 3 hits today. Here's Brumley. He's had 1 hit. Scored a run in the 3rd inning. Jack Howell in very close at 3rd. Going to have to bunt to first base. Breaking ball in for a strike. Wally Joyner holds against the runner at first base, and then he comes charging in. Tigers would like to pad their lead. They lead by 1 here in the 9th. Breaking ball outside makes it 1-1.
Well, they got everybody charging. If he's able to hit the ball at all to third base, he could hit the ball by him. But Sparky Anderson trying to get that add-on run here in the 9th inning.
Oh, you'd love to take a shot at a third baseman that just comes screaming in at you. And a strike. He's going to have to swing at it now. Fastball about knee-high, and it's 1-2 to Brumley. Angels not at all sure that he is going to swing. They're still in close. Bob McClure is the pitcher. Mike Brumley waiting on the 1-ball, 2-strike pitch. And he bunts foul, and he's out on strikes. Hit it for second. Heath, and he's safe. I guess he missed the ball. I thought he fouled it. He missed it, and Heath very alertly went down to second when the ball got away from Lance Parrish.
Lance misses the ball, and the ball gets by him, and alertly Mike Heath is off and running, and he's able to get in. Anderson was in the way. You see there's Mike might have spiked him.
Mike Heath has been doing some good heads-up base running all day. Very alertly, he saw the ball get away from Parrish, and he goes into second, so even though Brumley strikes out, you get the same effect. They move the runner to second base. The batter is Pettis, who batted in a run in the 7th inning. He tied the ball game with a 2-out single. Gary's had 2 hits today. Tigers 4, Angels 3, 9th inning. And a drive foul down the right field line. Both Joyner at first base and Jack Howell at third are playing in very close on Pettis. Well, how would you like to hit your whole career with a third and first baseman shaking hands with you?
Well, particularly the third baseman.
Yeah.
Because I could run a little bit, certainly not like Pettis, and they were a little afraid of my bunts, but it's easy to drive it by him.
And a fly ball into right center field. This ball is going to be caught by Claudel. So Pettis is out on a fly ball to right. Second out of the inning, and it leaves it all up to Tracy Jones.
Left fielder, Tracy Jones.
Tracy is hitless today in 4 trips.
They may not want to pitch to Tracy with a left-hander coming up, but Keith Moreland and Gary Ward both over on the bench. I think Moreland might be bothered somewhat with a bad back. I saw him limping around the clubhouse before the game today.
Pitch coming up to Jones, and a ground ball up the middle. Oh, great play by Anderson, and saved. But he saved a run. It was headed for center field. And Anderson picked it off. Could not get Jones, but he saved a run. Well, that's worth looking at again.
Well, I thought it was a sure RBI. Look how he has to reach behind him to make the play.
So it looks like Gary Ward is coming on to bat for Fred Lynn. You give Tracy Jones, you credit him with a single.
For the Tigers,
That moves Mike Heath over to third, and Gary Ward, a right-handed batter, will come on to bat, and that's going to bring a new pitcher out of the Angel bullpen. Marcel Latzman, the pitching coach, is at the mound, and he is one of the few pitching coaches that does make changes. There's nobody throwing out there. There's not going to be a change. But he does make changes. Very few pitching coaches make changes. They leave that to the manager. But in this case, Marcel does.
A lot of people were here at the stadium are wondering why they took Bert Blyleven out.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he was coasting along, and they just took him out for I don't know what reason in the 8th inning, and Tigers were able to score.
Yeah, Monteleone relieved him. Gave up a run on a double and a single. A double that should have been caught, but was not. Then in the 9th inning here, Bob McClure coming on. Runners at first and third with 2 outs, and he'll be pitching to Gary Ward. Gary Ward batting for Fred Lynn. They get 1 strike. He changed up on him, and Gary way out in front.
And McClure has a good move to first base, so Tracy Jones can't wander off too far.
Tigers need a big hit right here. They'd like to go into the 9th with more than a 1-run lead. Strike 2. He got the inside corner. Gary Ward walks off the bench, and just like that, he's behind with a strike 2 count. And maybe all he gets is 2 strikes. He and Dale Ford are going at it pretty good. Mike Heath is the runner at third base. Tracy Jones at first. And the 2-strike pitch coming up. That'll make it 1 and 2. is the batter. Mike Heath here, the runner at third base. Tracy Jones over at first. The 1-2 pitch to Gary Ward. Ball two. Ball two and strike two. Four, 4-3, the Tigers lead it. We're in the ninth inning. Gary Ward waiting on the 2-2 pitch. He got it. He got the curveball over, and Gary Ward is out on strikes. We go to the bottom of the ninth. 4-3 Tigers. The Angels in the bottom of the ninth inning. The Tigers 4, California 3. Jack Howell will lead it off. Kent Anderson is the scheduled second batter, but it looks like Schofield out of the dugout to bat for Anderson. Then Claudell Washington. Mike Henneman is the Tiger pitcher. Mike came on in the eighth inning. Walked Chili Davis, putting runners at first and second, 2 outs. Then he got Lance Parrish in a pinch hitting role. Parrish batting for Schroeder, struck out. Well, the Tiger hopes ride on the big right-hander Mike Henneman.
Jack Howell.
Jack Howell is 0 for 2 today. He's had a walk. Bounced out and flied deep to left his last time up. In case you missed the attendance, 29,444. 29,444. And the first pitch in the ninth inning. 1 ball, no strikes to Howell. Mike getting ready, and the 1-0 pitch. It's a ball, ball 2. Angels have won the first 3 games of this series in their last time at bat. Twice in the 9th inning, once in the 16th inning. Here's the 2-0 pitch to Howell. Check swing, and he fouls it away.
Try to keep the ball away from Jack Howell. As we mentioned, he does have some power, 12 home runs this year. Try to keep the ball down and away if they can.
Mike behind on a 2-0 pitch had to come in, and he doesn't want to go to 3-1 on this left-handed hitter. And another foul ball. So the count goes even at 2-2. Dick Schofield is out in the on-deck circle. He's going to bat for Anderson, who's the scheduled second batter this inning. Ball 2 and strike 2. And a bouncer towards second. Here's the long throw in the dirt, and a good play by Bergman. Oh, that one was dangerous. Not only did Mike Brumley throw it in the dirt, but he throws this ball awfully hard.
Could have got into the dugout. He's a good pickup by Bergman. Brumley's been bothered by arm problems ever since he's been up with Detroit. Every day I see him, he has his shoulder wrapped. His throwing shoulder wrapped with ice.
He had plenty of time to throw out Howell, but he appeared to hurry the throw. Threw it hard in the dirt, and Bergman made a outstanding play. Here's Schofield coming on to bat for Anderson. 1 out, nobody on. And a line drive, base hitting the left. Schofield makes the big turn, and he'll hold with a single. Oh, they put the tying run aboard with 1 out here in the ninth. Schofield wasted no time. He came right off the bench swinging, got his pitch and lined it hard over the head of Trammell. The batter is Claudell Washington, who has singled today in 4 trips. A strike. 1 strike to Claudell.
Schofield at one time was a real good base stealer, but has only 7 stolen bases this year.
Strike 2. Unlikely to run with the big hole at first base. They want to give Claudell a chance to shoot one through there with only 1 out. Give him a chance to drive Schofield to third. But Henneman out in front with a strike 2 count as he gets ready to pitch to Claudell. Ball hit into right field, and Schofield will go to third. He did just exactly what he wanted to do.
Exactly right. Claudell Washington, a veteran player, many years during the wars of baseball, knows what he wants to do. At this time, he's able to execute it in the hole at first base. No problem for Schofield to go from first to third.
Now it's Johnny Ray. And here comes Sparky. See what Sparky wants to do. He wants a left-hander. Brad Havens is in the bullpen. And Mike Henneman just couldn't get him out here in the 9th. He got the first batter, Jack Howe. Then a single by Schofield, a single by Washington. The Angels have him at first and third, and we're going to get a left-handed pitcher. And while there's a break in the action with the Tigers leading 4-3, we're going to pause for these messages. Seconds for station identification on the Detroit Tiger Baseball Network. Well, a star's greatest fear, what happens when fans go too far. Watch Star Stalkers, a special report tonight at 11, only on News 4 Night Beat.
And Sparky Anderson makes the move of bringing in Brad Havens, the left-hander. And sure you wonder why he makes the move with Mike Henneman, who is his best reliever, but Johnny Ray, a much better hitter from the left side, batting .324 left-handed and only .235 right-handed. Brad Havens from Highland Park, Michigan, was with Cleveland but was released on May 12th, signed by the Tigers, where he went to Toledo and pitched in 9 games for the Mud Hens before being brought up to the parent club, the Detroit Tigers. Havens, with a record of 1 win and 2 losses, has pitched 19 games for the Tigers. 1 as a starter, 36 innings, allowed 45 hits and 20 runs. He's walked 20 and struck out 21 in those 36 innings.
He's got a big job right now. A 1-run lead. The Angels have him at first and third. Johnny Ray runs well. Not a great speedster, but he runs well. He'll be tough to double up.
And I think he also, a veteran, will be trying to hit the ball to the right side.
So the Tigers continue to have problems in the 9th inning in Anaheim. Infield at double play depth. They are not deep, and they're not in. They're just in a couple of steps. The first pitch coming up to Johnny Ray. A fly ball down the line, foul. This may go in the seats, and it will. I'm not too sure the Angels would have just as soon had that a fair ball, been caught, and a run in.
Tough choice. for an outfielder, if that ball in foul territory and you have a chance to catch it, whether or not to let the ball drop or not.
Well, you're an outfielder. What do you do?
I would not have caught it if it was in foul territory.
Take a chance on getting him out. Okay.
Especially the way the Tigers have been playing.
Yeah, you got to hope he hits it at somebody. A two-hopper to Trammell and see if he can turn a double play. That would be the easy way. He fouls this one away, and now maybe slip one by him. Strike two.
Brad doesn't have the trick pitch that other pitchers have. Doesn't throw the split finger pitch. He has been working on at least some of the outings I've watched him throwing sort of like a screwball, straight changeup, but doesn't have the split finger pitch that many of the pitchers have today.
He's ahead of Johnny Ray with a strike two count. Runners at first and third, one out. Ooh, he just got a piece of it. He made a good pitch on Johnny Ray with two strikes on him. Fastball, knee high, in the strike zone. Johnny Ray has only 2 home runs this year. But he gets a piece of the ball. He's tough to strike out. And another foul ball. Brad Havens has given him a chance to strike out the last 2 pitches. He's made good pitches on him. This all started after the first batter had been retired. Schofield in a pinch-hitting roll single. Then with 2 strikes on him, Claudell Washington single. Now 2 strikes to Johnny Ray. And a drive down the line. This ball is in for a base hit. Johnny Ray with 2 strikes on him ties the ball game. You've got to give Johnny Ray some credit. He did some fine hitting. He fought this pitch off.
Yeah, they had him set up for this pitch inside, but they had thrown him a couple of extra slow breaking pitches and said, we'll get him inside with a high fastball, maybe strike him out. He got it where he wanted, but Havens didn't get it by him, and he was able to hit the ball down the left field line.
The big break they got was Claudell Washington just went to second and stopped. He might have made it to third. This is Devon White. Pitches low to Devon.
And it's really put Sparky Anderson in a real bind. He told me before the game they only had 2 pitchers that they can use today. Now, if this game goes into a long extra innings, it's Brad Havens all the way.
Claudell Washington started for third. He had a good jump, and then he stopped. They almost hung up Johnny Ray at first. He thought Claudell had gone. He was going to go too. And Billy Muffet's coming out.
And I think that's what he's going to remind him. Hey, don't ignore these guys. It's on the bases. They will take the extra base.
3 straight hits after the first batter had been retired in the 9th, and we're tied 4 runs apiece. And it's up to Brad Havens to fight them off here and send it into extra innings. All 2, no strikes to Devon White. It's the Angel bench. They expect something to happen. They've been winning so many games like this. They expect it to happen. All 3. Brad Havens is getting into a terrible jam here. A walk would load the bases with 1 out for Wally Joyner. All 3, no strikes. He walked him. The bases are loaded with only 1 out. And the batter is Wally Joyner, who won the first game on Thursday night in the 9th inning. He won the second game on Friday night in the 9th inning. And he's got a chance to
call for the outfielders to come way in.
Well, this crowd is really getting into the ball game now. They've got their hero at the plate with the bases loaded. And a strike, says Dale Ford. Tigers carried a 4-3 lead here in the ninth. Now it's 4-4 with the bases loaded, 1 out. This is going to be out of play. Ball will be back on the screen. Look at the base runners. Claudell Washington is at third. Johnny Ray is at second. And Devon White is the runner at first base. And it's strike 2 to Wally Joyner. Brad Havens gets ready. Whoa! Good stop by Heath. He almost threw it away. Boy, catcher's got a big job. With a winning run at third, if it's in the dirt or a pitch like that, they've got to flag it down some way.
Might have been a purpose pitch and maybe go away with a breaking pitch.
Ball 2, ball 1, look out. Swing at 2-2. He came back with a curve, but he hung it inside. Ball 2 and strike 2.
Joyner tried to stay in there and take the ball in the hip, but it curved away from him.
Ball 2 and strike 2 as Brad Havens gets ready. Look out, he hit him. What a way to end the ball game. He had 2 strikes on him, then he hit him with it. And Wally Joyner does it again. Once with a single on Thursday night, a home run Friday night, and hit by a pitch ball today, and the winning run scores. The final score of the game, California 5, the Tigers 4. And we'll be right back. Well, our Budweiser Tiger player of the game is Kevin Ritz. Kevin pitched 7 2/3 strong innings here today and went out with a 4-3 lead. So our congratulations to Kevin Ritz, our Budweiser Tiger player of the game. Well, that's it from Anaheim. For Al Kaline and Scott Wally, this is George Kell, hoping you'll be with us tomorrow night at 8 o'clock when the Tigers take on the Milwaukee Brewers. Once again, the final score today, California 5 and the Tigers 4.
Tigers Baseball has been brought to you by Anheuser-Busch. We brew our fine quality beers to be enjoyed responsibly. Remember, know when to say when. And presented by your Greater Michigan and Metro Detroit Ford dealers, where their commitment to quality makes them #1. Tigers Baseball, another reason why WDIV is first for sports.